So maybe without further ado, further delay, maybe I'll have Jonathan come up and he'll use the diagram and explain the new project to us. 咁我現在咧就請阿 Jonathan Perlman 我哋改咗佢個中文名做貝文先生，咁就請佢介紹今次呢個新嘅談道興耆英中心嘅計劃。
So I'm very honored to be part of this project. I've done a lot of work in San Francisco since the early 1990s, working with nonprofit organizations for building out space for their needs. I think this is an excellent opportunity for self-help and to create, even though it's a small project, it's in a very prominent location, and it's taking away a building that's been decrepit and an eyesore for such a long time.
Jonathan 咧就話佢自1990年咧就喺三藩市做畫則師，咁佢非常今次覺得好榮幸咧，可以同安老自在處合作嚟到起呢個新嘅建築物。佢雖然咧呢個樓咧就唔會係好大，但係咧因為個地點咧實在係好好，喺華盛頓街喺正花園角對面，咁所以佢話如果大家睇下舊嗰個南苑咧。自1989年咧已經係成為一個好殘舊同埋好肉酸嘅一座舊樓，咁佢希望我哋一齊合作咧，可以盡快起一座新嘅樓嚟到代替。
As Roz said before, the existing building is very unsafe. It's a brick building, and in San Francisco, of course, very unsafe. The studies done to try to renovate it. For just a little bit more money, we're putting almost twice as much space into the same small site and creating 18 units of housing where there is none now.
佢話如果用錢嚟到裝修呢一個樓咧，同埋用多啲咁多錢咧，我哋可以起座新嘅，然後咧就將嗰個面積咧就雙倍咁大。咁我哋新嘅樓咧就可以包含18個單位老人屋。
So these two images are the same image. This is what you'd see today, and then this is hopefully what you'll see in as short a time as possible. And the idea of the design is to have a large open meeting area on the first floor, right on the sidewalk. There'll be two meeting spaces, one at the street, and then a two-story big room inside the building. Then some office space for self-help on the second floor right above the entrance. So then this whole front area is like a big storefront, like similar to the other restaurants along the street, the other buildings along the street.
Jonathan 咧就話：如果大家認識即係喺 Washington 街好多嗰啲餐室同鋪頭咧，都係有一個好大嘅鋪面嘅。咁我哋呢個設計咧就同樣係起翻一個大嘅鋪面咧，就做我哋嘅活動中心、康樂中心。咁然後兩層咧就係活動中心同埋一啲辦公寫字即係辦公室俾啲職員嘅。然後跟住樓上嗰3層咧就係老人嘅。
And then above, you can see that one of the design ideas was that the building looks similar to other buildings, even though it's a much more modern, it's a very contemporary building. So you can see how the balcony line lines up, and then the windows of the apartments are similar to the windows on the other buildings. And then we'll use brick. The current building is brick. We'll use brick on the front of the building so that it fits into the feeling of Chinatown.
因為我哋好知道即係華埠有歷史性嗰啲樓宇嘅特色咧，所以 Jonathan 嗰個設計咧係保存嗰個歷史性嗰個質素。咁係點樣咧？我哋用翻紅磚做嗰個嗰間樓嘅前面嚇，然後嗰啲嗰個窗門咧就好似其他嗰啲華埠嘅樓啲窗門差不多嘅，你睇到。同埋嗰個騎樓咧，譬如你平線咁樣睇過去咧，會同其他近住我哋個等樓隔離嗰啲一模一樣。咁所以係完全唔會即係唔會係好突出嚟。但係如果你睇落去咧，係一個好摩登、好現代性嘅樓宇，但係亦都保存華埠嗰 嗰個質素。
So above the very tall first floor, there's 3 floors of 350 square foot independent apartments, 6 on each floor. And if, when you come up later and take a look, there are walkways that face the downtown. So all the windows face towards the city, the downtown city of the city. And then some of the units here face over Portsmouth Square.
由第2層到第4層咧，2、3、4咧就係每一層有6個單位，係大約350尺嘅大嘅畫室，即係有個廚房仔、有個廁所同埋一個大嘅廳，有埋睡房㗎啦。雖然係細細地，但係就好實用嘅嚇。咁就嗰啲每一個單位都有窗嘅，有啲咧就望住下埠嗰邊咧，有啲就望住花園角。
So I'll answer questions as you have them, but these are the ground floor, the offices that are above, and then a typical plan. There are 3 floors that are similar to this. And then if you want more detail about them, you can ask me questions later. This is ground floor.
嗰個咧就係喺嗰個ground floor， 即係喺嗰個鋪面第1層嗰度做我哋嘅大嘅活動中心同埋辦公室。咁跟住另外下低呢度咧就每一層有6個低收入嘅老人住屋，所以總共係得18個，好少。
So the building itself is not very complicated, but it's a very complicated process. One of the difficult things is to get permission to tear down the old Nam Yuen building. When it was built, it had shops on the ground floor and very tiny rooms for boarding on the top 2 floors. But there's nothing historic inside the building anymore because the restaurant is on all 3 floors.
佢話最初嗰個南苑嗰棟樓咧，就係除咗個鋪面咧，樓上咧就係其實亦都係嗰啲散房嚟嘅。但係咧，雖然話華埠係有呢個歷史性啦，但係呢一等樓嘅裏邊咧，完全已經拆過晒嘅，因為即係做 restaurant 做餐室嘅時候咧，已經全部改過晒，所以一啲歷史性都其實冇保存，係前面嗰度少少嘅啫。
So our goal is to convince the city of San Francisco, the planning department, to allow us to tear down the building and allow us to build something that looks like this. So as you have questions later, please, I'm happy to stay as long as you have questions. Thank you.
嗰個樓咧其實就係唔係好大但係嗰個去問申請呢個期間咧就係非常複雜嘅，咁所以咧就可能係耐少少時間。但係如果我哋可以申請到城市設計部俾我哋拆咗呢個好舊嘅南苑，然後起翻一個新嘅咧，咁係相信呢個對我哋華埠係一件好事。大家有冇咩問題？ Dennis, you want to add to?